5. Live life consciously. This step is comprised of 3 parts: awakening, discerning, and choosing. Part A. Awakening. There are 2 ways to live life: consciously and unconsciously, awake or asleep. When we live unconsciously, we are entranced by conditioning, oblivious to the reasons why our lives aren't working. We repeat the same routines day in, day out, make the same mistakes over and over again, and react to the same situations time and time again. But we never ask questions. Why is life this way? What am I doing wrong? What can I change to progress? We never consciously challenge our actions. We carry on oblivious regardless of the consequences. People imprisoned in this mindset adhere to beliefs that breed stasis. Life is already mapped out. That's just the way it is. What a defeatist attitude. Wake up! Life is not preordained. It's just the way it is because you haven't changed anything in years. Such people are effects, not causes. They are constantly buffeted about by the whims of other people. They are reactors, not creators. Yet to change a reactor into a creator, we just have to put C first. If we see the unconscious patterns that drive our repetitive behaviour before acting upon them, we resume conscious control of our lives. Behaviours indicative of reactor mode are sulking, blaming, seeking approval, condemning, insulting, bad-mouthing, adopting victim mentality, seeking vengeance, calculating your responses to suit the company you're in, agreeing with the majority just to fit in, unhealthy competitiveness, bullying and jealousy. Every time you revert to one of these effects, let an alarm sound off in your mind and bring your attention to the fact that you're giving your power away. To live consciously, we must heighten our awareness and catch ourselves in the process of reacting. Every time we interrupt the conditioned response, we break a shackle that binds us and move one step closer to our true potential. Heightening our awareness can be aided by reverting to step 3 and becoming aware of the covert operations of our filtering systems. Instead of responding robotically and slipping back into somnambulism, stop, stall, think, observe and proceed. Don't shrink from your feelings, allow them to expand. Observe the sensations in your body and allow them to peak. Remember the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching. Should you want to contain something, you must deliberately let it expand. Should you want to weaken something, you must deliberately let it grow strong. In not resisting negative feelings, you weaken and disperse them. In fighting them, you strengthen them. When your feelings have dissolved, revert to step 4 and ask your indwelling divinity for the correct response to the situation. Remember, every time you interrupt the negative pattern of behaviour, you dissolve the neural networks that support it. Consequently, you initiate the following 4 stages of transformation, known as the 4 stages of competence. Step 1. Unconscious competence. When operating at the level of unconscious incompetence, we are totally unaware of our shortcomings. We operate in a somnambulistic state, sleepwalking through life, totally oblivious to the underlying mechanisms that wreak havoc in our life. Stage 2. Conscious incompetence. On reaching stage 2, our awareness is heightened. We've identified the underlying reasons as to why our lives aren't working, but we still haven't developed new strategies to implement the needed change, i.e., we are still incompetent. Stage 3. Conscious competence. At stage 3, We have not only identified the reasons why we act in preordained ways, we have devised and implemented new strategies to change our behaviour. At present, however, we have to exert conscious effort in executing the new behaviour. It does not come easy. Stage 4. Unconscious competence. On reaching the final stage, we have practiced the new strategies to such an extent that they are now second nature. Each time we are faced with the old trigger, our new way of responding kicks in without any conscious deliberation. When this occurs, we have transformed a negative habit into an extremely positive one. These 4 stages of competence can be used to measure the degree of progress in any troublesome area of your life. Let's look at an example. Every time John faced a problem, he drank to destruction. This bizarre behaviour continued for many years and often led to him being locked up. He was oblivious to the reasons why he succumbed to his destructive tendencies. So at this stage, John was experiencing unconscious incompetence. After reviewing the situation with the counsellor, he identified that the reason for his abusive drinking was to obliterate his problems. Now he developed awareness of the catalyst, but his behaviour had not changed. He still drank to destruction whenever confronted with a problem. Now John had moved to conscious incompetence. Through the Alcohol to Alchemist 12-step philosophy for optimal living, he finally accepted that alcohol did not provide an escape route for his problems. As a consequence, he refrained from drinking. Initially, it wasn't easy. He had to exert conscious effort in implementing his new strategy. Now John has reached the stage of conscious competence. He has implemented this new strategy. He stopped drinking, but it's not second nature. He still has to work at it. Persistence prevailed and brought gradual improvement. After John repeatedly refused to drink his problems away and set about solving them, his desire to drink diminished. Subsequently, abstinence became second nature. On encountering a problem, rather than seeing it as an obstacle, John saw it as an opportunity to evolve. After examining a problem from different points of view, considering his options and consulting his indwelling divinity, he took great delight in solving the problem. The entire process was carried out without any conscious deliberation. That is, it had been habituated. At this point, John has finally reached unconscious competence. The fundamental message of Part A of Step 5 is live life. Don't let life live you. Now we move on to Part B of Step 5, discernment. To further heighten your awareness and foster the attributes of serenity, acceptance, courage and wisdom, refer to the words of the following prayer. I ask my indwelling divinity to grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Recite this prayer frequently, commit it to memory. When you're faced with an ambiguous or threatening situation, one that fills you with trepidation, confusion or fear, contemplate the words, slip into a serene state of mind, and deduce whether you have control over the situation or not. If the answer is no, then ask for the serenity to simply accept it. Why fret over something you cannot change? Equanimity of mind is maintained in simple acceptance. If the answer is yes, but you find yourself apprehensive to take action, then ask for courage. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to act despite fear. If you are unable to ascertain whether you have control or not, ask for clarity. Again, use step 4 and hand the situation over to your indwelling divinity. This way you are certain of attaining the wisdom to discern the right course of action. Now we come to part C, escaping into the magic. The final part of step 5 encourages you to go into the magical kingdom of your mind and ponder the limitless possibilities available to you. Living life consciously involves choosing what you desire in life and manifesting it. Your mind is a vast emporium of potential. 60,000 thoughts traverse it every single day, and any one of them has the capacity to take you on an incredible journey. Select your thoughts carefully. Discard the negative and harness the inspirational. When you have chosen an inspirational idea, incubate it in the embryo of your imagination. Feed it with concentration and allow it to become alive in your mind. Enlarge the internal pictures and turn up the sounds until the experience becomes lifelike. Immerse yourself in the scene. Feel the wonderful feelings evoked, and watch the scenario grow and grow until it is finally birthed into reality. And don't hold back. Remember, the problem is not setting the bar too high and failing, it's setting it too low and succeeding. So set your bar as high as possible and live life in the knowledge that you are capable of clearing it with room to spare. To live life consciously is to know no limits.